Welcome back to another episode of the Hardcore Casual with your boy Bass the Kid. Apologies, this video is late. It should have come out yesterday, but unfortunately I had other things that were kind of happening. Got a brand new phone, had to transfer everything from one phone to the other. That took a lifetime and a half, but we're here now. So without further ado, they're gonna get into it. There might not be a basis picks tomorrow, not 100% sure, but there will definitely be another episode dropping early in the morning. So without further ado, let's get into it. So look, I guess the first thing I've got to talk about is the news that came out on Monday, which was both the new DAZN schedule, or at least the matchroom version of the schedule up until the end of April, along with the new pricing structure and the price hike. Now I was going to do it in two separate sections, but I decided let me do it all together, purely because one does feed into the other. Now, at least on this occasion, DAZN didn't up the price without even letting you know what was on the schedule moving forward, which is what they done last year, which I had a big issue with. But let's go to the schedule first, then we can talk about pricing afterwards. Now I'm going to go through the entire schedule, including the Golden Boy promotion stuff, because a lot of people seem to forget that Golden Boy is a part of DAZN as well, and it's not all Eddie Hearn like success or failure. It's both sets of promoters need the necessary praise or criticism. So let's go through all together. So the first card is Lee Wood versus Maurizio Lara, which is taking place on the 18th of February. I don't think anyone's been moaning about that one thus far. Next, you've actually got on the same night Luis Neri versus Aziat Hovhannisyan. I think that's how you pronounce it, Hovhannisyan. Now I don't know who else is on that particular card, but it leads from one fight card into the other, which is, decent. Sometimes those ones turn into a bit of a cracker. On Thursday, the 23rd of February, you've actually got Scrappy Ramirez versus Luis Villapadilla. That's one of the Golden Boy promotions. It's like their next gen cards, that fight series, I think they call it. That's taking place on the Thursday evening, so Friday morning for us. Again, that one could be decent. I've seen a couple of those, those Thursday cards that they put out, and they are entertaining for the most part. You get to see some of the up and coming guys, or the guys on the cusp of breaking onto that world scene. Next, there's a Matchroom Italy card, Fierro versus Estea. I don't know either of them. I don't know the Italy side, so forgive me. Anyone who does, feel free to comment whether you like that or not. March the 11th is Callum Smith versus Stipian. What's his first name? His first name's, what is this guy's first name? Hold on. Powell Stipian. And on the undercard of that, Liam Parrow versus Robbie Davis Jr. It's a good fight, to be honest. And Diego Pacheco versus Jack Cullen. Then Saturday the 18th of March, you've got Zurdo Ramirez versus Gabe Rosado. Less said about that one the better. But then what fight date is this? Also the next gen, the Newcastle card, Pattinson versus Jenkins. So what date is that? I think is that also the 18th? That might also be the 18th, or then you've got the 1st of April, you got Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin, with Craig Spider Richards on the undercard against Richard Bolotnick. So the fight that got postponed from last year November when Craig fell ill. And you've also got Signani versus Cash for the European Middleweight Championship. Saturday the 8th of April, you got Jesse Bam Rodriguez against Gonzalez. What is his first name? I cannot remember. Gonzalez Hernandez, I think it is. yeah, so there's that one on the US side. Decent. Some pretty good fights on the undercard there. Saturday the 22nd, you've got Joe Cordina versus Rakhimov, who obviously beat Zelfa Barrett for the IBF title. And obviously, you know, Shavkat Rakhimov was due to fight Joe Cordina. Joe Cordina pulled out of a hand injury. So yeah, we have that as well. And then I think the last fight on that schedule up until May is the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano 2. Yeah, I think that's the next one after that, which is on the 20th of May. Okay, so in terms of the cards, there's about, let me have a quick look through again. I'd say 3 really good cards. So Wood Lara as a main event, I don't think anyone could argue with that one. Then the next good main event for me is Joshua Franklin. After Joshua Franklin, Rodriguez Gonzalez, I think that would be a good card as well. And then Cordina Rakhimov, and then followed up by Taylor Serrano 2. So out of the 10 cards there, I'll say that there's 5 pretty good ones. Now, let's talk about the new pricing, because this is basically what's got everyone up in the uproar. Okay, so we currently pay $7.99 in the UK on a monthly subscription. DAZN are deciding that they will charge you £19.99 for a monthly subscription. No questions asked, you can cancel at any time, although you have to give 30 days notice. Which means that if you just paid and you want to cancel at that point, all right, 30 days, your subscription will be closed off just after your next payday. Unless, I guess it's a 31. If it's a 31-day month, then you might be alright. If yours always comes out on the first of the month, you might be able to escape it. But if it's a 30-day one, then yeah, you're gonna end up paying, I guess, on that same day. It's gonna be techie. Either way, £20, it's mad, a bit outrageous. Who would choose that? Well, they're saying you don't have to choose that. They're saying there's another option. So the secondary option is that you can commit to 12 months like a phone contract, and if you do that, then you pay £9.99 a month, which is a £2 increase on what you're currently paying right now, which takes you up to just under £120 for the year. Now, I made a mistake on Monday Night Smoke. I said £112 when I meant to say 120. I apologize, and you know, as I said on there, if I get it wrong, I'll come back and I'll correct it. So I'm just correcting that. But there's also another option, which they call the what do they call this one, the Super Saver option, whereby if you pay everything off in one go, pay £99.99, you get the entire 12 months of DAZN for that year. That's basically the only price you pay, which works out to be something like £8.33, which ends up being what, 30, it's like 34 pence increase on, you know, what you were paying previously for subscription. And for the whole year works out to be what, about £4, maybe more than what you were previously paying. So to me, that one is a no-brainer, but I understand not everyone can pay £100 in one go in 1 month on a luxury, so to speak, when cost of living crisis is real in a lot of people's households. I get that. So then you've got the £9.99 option. But if you're of the mindset of, okay, well, what am I getting for that £9.99? Well, then I get it. Sometimes you might want to dip in and out. But now what they're saying to you is, ultimately, if you want to dip in and out, you got to pay a premium for that, because these shows ain't free. Like, they ain't free. We've got to guarantee our money. And if we can't guarantee your money, then ultimately we're just going to charge you extra for the inconvenience. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think it's right, but I understand it. And let's be real, I mean, we've had it a lot better than the US have, because the US have been on the same pricing structure for the last 2 years. They started on the $99 a year or the $20 a month from the start. We're only just getting it now. Remember, we started at £1.99 for, what was it, the first 6 months that the zone was active, and then what didn't it go to like $4.99 and then $7.99, or was it $1.99 straight to $7.99? One or the other. So yeah, the jump, the jump from that to £20, I get, is a madness. And to be honest, it would have made a lot more sense if it was $14.99 as opposed to, you know, $19.99, because at least then you could say it's comparable to like Netflix or something, which is $15.99 for a premium account that you can have your family members on and whatnot. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people just like hyping, oh, I'm done with DAZN. Okay, cool, I get it. But those same people running around with BT Sport subscription, you know, to take a month pass from BT Sport, you know that costs £25 a month, right? Just to do a monthly. So that's already £5 on top of what DAZN have. Now, yeah, you could say they got football and everything, but if you're a boxing head, you're not buying BT Sport for the football, you're buying it for the boxing that you want for that month. Tack on if it's a pay-per-view event, because Frank Warren, his best events happen to always be pay-per-view. I mean, then what are you saying? That works out to be closer to £45-50 for that month. So you're not really, the difference isn't that much, you know, there's no real compromise there. Then you look at Sky Sports. Now, yeah, okay, Sky's got every other sport under the sun, you get that, but their contracts are 18 months for you to add additionals. And I'm sure that it costs double what the DAZN is asking for the monthly subscription, and you're locked into an 18-month contract. To be honest, they're all taking the piss, but DAZN at least has, pound for pound, as far as I'm concerned, the best cards more consistently. I'm not saying they always have the best content on there, because they don't. I've made noise about several cards. I mean, that Callum Smith versus Powell Stipend, to me, that match is trash. The card underneath it might be alright, but that main event's trash. There's a couple others on there which I'm not particularly happy with, but ultimately for the level of content that I'm getting compared to both Sky Sports and BT Sports put together in terms of just boxing, I can't really complain that much. And everyone just wants to moan for the sake of moaning, but they know realistically that when the big fights are coming around, they're gonna pay, or they're gonna find a way to watch them anyway. And it's also funny, there's a lot of people moaning that don't even have DAZN. Do you know how many people I've actually had in some of my group chats talking about DAZN's a disgrace? And I'm like, but you don't even pay for DAZN, you don't even have a subscription. So why do you care how much they're charging other people when you're not putting money in their pocket? Probably you're one of the reasons why they're charging people so high now. Because you're taking content that they have to pay for. So it ends up getting put onto everyone else. I mean, that's just what happens in business, isn't it? If everyone paid their way, then yeah, like you'll ultimately, the cost of things don't go up as much. They start to go up when other people start finding loopholes around it, and then the companies are trying to claw back money. They claw it back from the people who do pay for it. Now me, I've got subscriptions to all of them. I've got DAZN, I've got BT Sport, and I've got Sky Sport. So I understand about cost of living and all of that, but it also means that, to me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the greatest of positions to be able to give an opinion on this subject, because I have all three. So if anyone has a right to an opinion, I feel it's me. If you don't purchase, or you're not a consumer, or you're not a subscriber of these, to be honest, I don't really want to hear what you've got to say, because it's irrelevant. Your money is not invested in this. That's just my personal opinion on it. But look, on the whole, here's what I'm going to say about the schedule. The schedule is alright. It's not great, but there are some good cards, some good fight cards, or at least some main events that look like they're going to transform into good fight cards. So I'm going to give it benefit of the doubt. Remember, this is before there's a Dimitri Bivol. This is before there's a Canelo Alvarez, Joshua Buatsi, if he's going to stay on the platform. There's still more stuff to come. Now, do we get stuff every single month of great quality? Well, no, because January wasn't that great, but there was still 3 boxing cards that was on in January. There was 2 Golden Boy ones and then 1 Misfits one. If you want to discount the Misfits, then there was 2 Golden Boy. I mean, that was worth my $7.99. This month there's just had 1. We're gonna get a second one, 2 in one night, and I think 1 towards the end of the month. 4 cards in February. I think that's worth it, to be honest. 3 cards in March. There's 4 cards in April, I think, and then 1 already scheduled for May. But there's going to be at least another 1, probably like a bigger money card. So yeah, look, does anyone want to pay £20? No. If you can afford to do the $9.99, then do the $9.99. Everything's gone up. Your Netflix has gone up, Amazon Prime's gone up, Disney Plus has gone up. Part of the reason why I normally buy the yearly subscriptions for most things, because at least that way, when those price hikes happen, they don't happen to me, or you just get hit with it once and one full time and that's it. But again, like I said, I understand if you can't afford that. So if you can afford it as an option, then you do the cheapest one. If you want to be someone that dips in and out, then you got to pay the premium. Like, moaning about it is long, isn't it? It's either you're going to do it or you're not. But yeah, I think I will leave this here, and I will make a separate video for some of the other things that happened on DAZN. So yeah, this is my take. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. Please put down in the comments how you feel about it. I'll respond. I'm not gonna duck and dive this subject. I've said what I've had to say. I'm prepared for any backlash. I'm prepared for any support and any alternative views. So yeah, without further, let me leave that one there for you. Thanks very much for watching. Another video popping soon. It's Hardcore Casual out.